This is KGW News at noon.
Think ahead, plan ahead. Service will be very different for 3 weeks.
TriMet is warning you. Major disruptions in MAX service start on Sunday. Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. TriMet is reworking the MAX lines here in downtown Portland. And KGW's Tim Gordon joins us live. So, Tim, what else do commuters need to know to kind of survive the chaos?
All right, Brenda, well, the first thing they need to know, if they come from the west side anyway, is that the Providence Park platform is the last stop before you get on a shuttle bus to get through downtown to the Rose Quarter, or you can walk downtown to your work. TriMet just finished in the last hour putting these stickers down on the sidewalk to show you the way. Bottom line is you definitely need to plan ahead for some major delays. The lines are all painted at the intersection of Southwest 11th and Morrison. Starting Sunday, construction crews will start to tear this up. New rails and switches will go in and a much needed smoother roadway around them. 11th and Yamhill gets the same treatment, as does the line down at First Avenue. Because of it, MAX trains won't be rolling east-west through downtown. That disrupts the blue, green, and red lines. The orange and yellow lines will run regular service, but with fewer trains. TriMet says change your schedule to avoid peak commute times if you can, but
If you do have to ride during the commuting hours, we are suggesting that you try out our regular bus service or use other transportation options. If you can, work from home, carpool.
the prospect of allowing an extra 30 to 45 minutes to your commute is not a pretty one, especially for 3 weeks. We found some MAX riders doing exactly what TriMet wants, planning ahead, considering alternatives.
I actually don't know yet. I think I might start driving myself for a while.
Serious?
Yeah, just because it might just delay me a little bit more.
I'll just get off the station, which is Gusala, and then walk that way.
You can do a little extra walking.
Yeah.
So are you looking at this is a good health alternative for you?
It's a forced health alternative, yes.
And don't forget, streetcar service will be disrupted too for the first 2 weeks along 10th and 11th Avenues. Like for the MAX, shuttle buses will be running. So the bottom line is everybody gets affected by this, just varies depending upon your route. A lot more details and a trip planner too that can help you at a link at kgw.com. Brenda, back to you.
Be glad when those 3 weeks are over. Thank you, Tim. Time to head outside right now. Yep, that is a live look from our Rose City Skycam. It's shaping up to be a very nice Friday. So nice, in fact. We sent the weatherman outside up on the roof. So, Brian, what's in store for the rest of the afternoon?
Hey, Brenda, well, I do plan on spending most of my time outside today. It's just going to get better and better from here. We're going to see increasing amounts of sunshine. If we look at our first graphic, we have had barely any rainfall today, which is great news. Just a couple raindrops in Astoria for the most part, though. Our state across the border into Washington as well, it has been mostly dry. If we look at our current temperatures, it is a bit below normal for this time of year. We're pretty cool in the low 50s, some places struggling to get out of the 40s, but it is going to get warmer throughout the day today. And our satellite and radar shows there are a few showers up at higher elevations in the Coast Range and the Cascades, but that is all drying out as we see these clouds diminish later on in the day. So our day planner for this afternoon will top out maybe right at 60 degrees. Will be mostly sunny today, nice light winds, and the sunset doesn't happen till about 8:15. So it'll be a sunny evening at 8 o'clock with barely a cloud in the sky. We have lots of sun in our long range forecast and possibly the first time we hit 70 degrees at all this year. So very excited to bring that to you in about 10 minutes.
We're excited to hear it, Brian. Thank you so much. Well, police are trying to figure out how an early morning fire started on East Burnside. The flames were raging. Look at the size of those things. This happened on 83rd and East Burnside around 2 a.m. Portland Fire says it started in the back of a house. No one was hurt, but it did burn some furniture that was in the backyard. Well, today we're hearing from the man who jumped into action at a Dennys restaurant when he saw a customer attacked and set on fire. This is 47-year-old Jason Pappas. He was just a few tables away when a man doused Scott Ranstrom with gasoline and set him on fire. Pappas talked exclusively with us here at KGW about that night in Happy Valley. He says he jumped over booths to get to Ranstrom. Then he wrapped him in his jacket and his sweater to put out the flames.
If I didn't have a sweater on, I would have taken off my shirt. Whatever it took, whatever. I can heal.
Now, authorities are telling us that Deshaun Swanger is responsible for that attack. Randstrom is still fighting for his life. His sister says he's in a medically induced coma and he needs more surgeries. There's a GoFundMe page to help with his medical expenses. You can find a link to it on our website, kgw.com. Police say this man sexually abused a woman at a Portland Community College library. That is 54-year-old Kevin Taylor. Police arrested him Wednesday. A student says back in November, Taylor touched her in the library at PCC Cascade. Detectives got this surveillance photo of the suspect. They say there may be more victims, so they're urging anyone else to come forward. A break in a sex trafficking case has a Portland teenager back with her family. Police say they rescued the 16-year-old yesterday. They found her at a home on Southeast Steele near Lentz Park. She's back with her family this afternoon. Police arrested these two men. This is 22-year-old Trey Jenkins and 20-year-old Antonio Moore. They face prostitution charges and are expected in court this afternoon. President Trump said in a new interview that a major conflict is possible with North Korea. NBC's Kelly Kobiea is following the very latest developments.
In that wide-ranging interview, President Donald Trump saying that a major conflict with North Korea is a possibility. He also said that he would love to solve the situation diplomatically, but that it's, quote, very difficult. This morning, the North Koreans put out some video of those massive military exercises earlier this week, showing Kim Jong-un, their leader, observing those artillery drills on the east coast of that country. North Korea has said it will go forward with its nuclear and missile programs, saying that a sixth nuclear test will happen at some point. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson saying that China has warned North Korea that they face unilateral sanctions if they go forward with that test. This morning, China's foreign minister was asked about that. He said a sixth nuclear test was a hypothetical and he wasn't willing to comment on that. Also today, for the very first time, Donald Trump taking on a key ally here, South Korea, saying that South Korea should pay for the anti-missile defense system THAAD now deployed here to the tune of $1 billion. Also that he may terminate a trade agreement with South Korea next week, calling it a horrible deal, saying it's, quote, left America destroyed. Kelly Kobiea, NBC News, Seoul, South Korea.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has strong words for North Korea today. He spoke at the UN Security Council. Tillerson says the world needs to isolate North Korea and impose new sanctions.
In light of the growing threat, the time has come for all of us to put new pressure on North Korea to abandon its dangerous path. I urge this council to act before North Korea does.
The secretary emphasized the U.S. doesn't want regime change, but does want North Korea to dismantle its nuclear weapons. The U.S. government won't shut down today. The Senate and the House approved a short-term spending bill this morning. It extends government funding for one more week, giving Congress a little more time to work out a deal. And some good news today about the nation's 41st president. George H.W. Bush is out of the hospital. A family spokesperson says a Houston hospital released him earlier this morning. He's now resting at home. Doctors treated him for a mild case of pneumonia and bronchitis. The 92-year-old was admitted to the hospital 10 days ago.